Gail Turner Brown at another episode of Meet the Entrepreneur. You know, this is the place to be so that you can get spotlighted and highlighted to increase your visibility and credibility. And, you know, this is all about entrepreneurs and business owners, authors, speakers. This is what we do. And so for today's episode, I have a delight for everyone. And mainly because, you know, normally when I interview people, they've been authors or people in the internet marketing space or even in the direct sales space. But this is a special thing for me because it's the first time I'm interviewing an interior design and a real estate person. And so this is Danny Taylor. He's out of the great state of North Carolina. And if you've seen any of my info about him, you know, he has style and class with a little bit of down home hominess, you know, and charm. So with that, I want to welcome Danny Taylor. Welcome so much to the show, Danny.
Thanks for having me, Gail.
Awesome. So, you know, this is, again, it really is really special for me because I was looking at some of your interior designs. I know that you have a real estate company. And so, and I want to be able to help people who are not only seeing this here, but will see this on the replay and for the rest of the cyberspace when they do view it. I need them to help understand. And this is what I always say. I always like to start from the beginning. So how did you get into this field of interior design?
Oh my. I'm an FIT grad with a degree in fashion design. And so when I moved back to North Carolina, it was in the mid 80s, and I became a design director for a major shirt company. We sold, they would fly me all over the country, and I would sell design shirts for major catalogs like LL Bean and Lands' End. And when I got really kind of burned out from that, and when the rest of the world moved away from wearing button-down shirts and started wearing ripped jeans with safety pins in their ears and stuff, I thought, well, maybe I'm a little old for this. So, you know, old fashion designers make great interior designers. So that's how it all started. I just called a few friends and I said, you know, putting together a house is a lot like putting together a collection. You start with the fabrics and the colors and the bones of the thing, the proportion, the balance, the whole 9 yards. So, you know, I just started little by little and practiced on a few very kind friends. And I've been exposed to this kind of a world for a long time through my mother and watching her with decorators and watching her decorate her houses and helping her decorate her houses. So it kind of came naturally. And Southerners have a tendency to be very, what we call house proud. So your environment says a lot about, you know, who you are. You know, it's all about living graciously, regardless of what your income level is. You know, it's all about creating this nest, this cocoon for yourself to escape from the world. It's kind of like a little fantasy that you're trying to create for yourself.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize that about the South, but I could now, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. And so, and I this is what I like. I liked how you described it, is since you came from the fashion world. So you said it's the same thing. It's just that you're putting fabric on the bones of your house versus on your body.
You're working with color, you're working with fabric, you're working with texture, proportion, balance, and everything has to kind of come together to make it harmonious and to be pleasant to your eye. So that's what I do.
Okay. So, all right. So answer this, and I know we talked about this a little bit before the show. Help me understand the difference between an interior designer and an interior decorator, or is there a difference?
Well, it depends on who you ask. To me, there's not much of a difference, frankly. In Europe, a decorator would be considered somebody that would come in and do the painting and the hanging the wallpaper and hanging the drapes. And in this country, decorators were, I mean, people that do what I do were always called interior decorators.
Okay.
Until they started going to college to learn how to do it.
Okay.
It can get a little pretentious sometimes where they're like, well, I'm not a decorator, I'm a designer. I'm like, so what's different from what you do than I do? Well, nothing. And so we all go to the same shows. We all you go to see the same fabric lines. We all do the same thing. So.
Okay, so if someone, because in fact, this is actually happening right now. My youngest son recently, he didn't buy a house, he's renting a house, but he thinks he's planning on buying it. And he's been driving us crazy because every day he comes in and like right now he's got a living room that's half painted, and because he says, I just don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this room, right? And so, and I said, go look at some magazines and some stuff to kind of get an idea.
Right.
So when you approach a space, if someone has just gotten a house and they say, okay, Danny, what should I do? How should a person approach that space to kind of help them determine what it is they want to do with it? I mean, is it the feel? Is it the type of house? Is it the, I mean, like, should each room say something individually, or should it like mesh with the rest of the house?
It really depends on the person. I like to say that I'm a good profiler, and a good profiler makes a great realtor and makes a really great designer, decorator, whatever you want to call us. So I do both. So I start with asking a lot of questions. I ask them, and a lot of times if I'm working with a lady, I'll ask to see her closet. What does she wear? Because a lot of times what you wear will be a reflection of the colors that you like, the colors that you're comfortable in, the colors that you're comfortable around. It's funny because blondes and brunettes have different color taste, I found. So
really? Okay. You guys stop. You got to break that one down to me. What? What is the difference? And look. And so, do blondes have like a really dingy idea way of doing things?
No. They just, people tend to choose colors for their home that complement their coloring, their skin tones, their hair color, whether it's real blonde or bottle blonde, it doesn't matter. it's funny, you know, the blonde, my blonde customers, um, again, whether it grows that way or it comes out of a bottle, they, they always want, you know, icy pale rooms, you know, pale blues, watery blues, and corals and pinks, and they like things a little bit more pretty. Whereas um, people with darker hair, darker features, those guests tend to like more golden tones. Um, you know, reds, raspberries, golds. Yellow used to be really popular. It's coming back now. Yeah, the yellows. Um,
That
and
is
then
so
the millennials,
funny.
they love everything very neutral. You know, they because they can't commit. They're afraid to commit to color. So they're the ones that want everything. Well, what shade of white do I want to paint? So I have this one color card, I pull it out, and I'm like, here are 50 different shades of white, and let me show you why they're all different. And I'll put them beside each other, and I'll say, see how this one goes green when I put it next to this one that goes pink, next to this one that goes yellow, next to this one that goes a little gray. And then you see the light bulb moment come up, and it's like, ding, ding. I get it now. Okay.
That is so funny because when he went to find paint for painting the house, because when he came into the house, he's like, okay, no, I got to paint these walls. I got to paint these walls.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes in, and so first of all, he's floored because
Right.
they're all in this color palette, and then
Thousands.
yes, and then it's, you know, it's not just green, it's a celery green and a, you know, I don't know, robin's egg blue, and it's all of this. But what you just said is totally correct because it's like all of these various whites. I'm like, really?
Yeah, really.
And so
Yeah.
that is so that okay. So help me
I'm
with.
gonna tell you a good story. Let me tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
So I sold a house to a single guy, and the whole house needed to be painted. And I said, do not choose a shade of beige because he wanted everything beige. Do not choose a shade of beige until you let me look at it. Because I guarantee you, if you let your girlfriend choose it, your walls are going to look pink. He called me one Saturday morning about 9 o'clock. He said, Danny, oh my God, how soon can you get over here? I'm like, you painted the house, didn't you? He's like, yeah. I said, and you let your girlfriend choose the color? He said, yeah. He said, we've got to fix it. So I came up with my handy dandy colored cards, and I'm like, okay, you see how this color goes more neutral and why your walls are looking pink? I said, because an amateur should never choose their wall color unless they have experience with coloring, you know, choosing paint colors. So
It's crazy.
you know, I've done it long enough that I have my go-to colors. I know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Right.
So
That is crazy. I mean, and as you're saying this, I am hearing him having this conversation. And so, okay, so if you
the
were
best thing to do is to buy the little pint size
yeah,
and do patches
right.
on the wall.
And then okay.
And look at them all together in different lights, daylight, night light, lamp light.
That makes sense.
You know, rainy day, sunny day.
Right.
You know, walk by it, see which one you like. And
Now,
then you'll kind of get a feel for what it is that you like.
you're looking for. Okay, because now my question was going to be, when you approach it, should you already know like what you want this room to represent before you start getting paint? Because I know when I look, first of all, when he showed me the paint and I can't remember what he said this was. It's either like a pumpkin spice or something like that. Well, I personally said, nah, it's too, I think it's too dark. To me, it's orange, kind of. And so I said, I think it's too dark. But then he said, well, no, I wanted to have like these earth tones and be kind of like a African kind of motif. You know, I've got some prints of the zebra and stuff like that.
Right.
Here's the thing though. So this is the room that's half painted. It's the living room. The thing that's half painted. Then he decided today, you know, Mom, I think what I want to do, I think I'm not going to have this a regular living room. I want to put a pool table in here. And I wanted to have this kind of feel. And I'm like, okay. So now to me, that whole color thing kind of gets thrown off. So how should a person approach before they start buying paint and doing all kind of stuff?
Well, I think first of all, you have to decide, is this a room that I'm going to be in during the day or at night?
Right.
My daytime, is primarily a daytime room, primarily a nighttime room?
Right. Okay.
So,
yeah,
you know, that will help you determine a lot, I think, at least for me, how I'm going to color that room.
Right. Right.
And then, like you said, what's the room going to be used for?
Right.
Now, if I'm going to create a billiard room, I would not start with orange or pumpkin spice.
I know.
That would not be where I would start. You know, I would try to go for something a little more clubby and, you know, maybe a little more old school. Maybe he might do better with a red wall, or, you know, a deep Chinese red, maybe better than the pumpkin spice.
Right. And see, and
because, you know, when's he going to be there playing pool? Probably in the evenings.
Yeah, I mean, because for the most part, he's not even here, and when he is, the way that the house is situated, you literally, when you come in, you think that's the living room, but it's not. It's like the lower floor, and then you go up to, okay, here's the living room, and then you go up again, and those are the bedrooms.
Right.
So what he did was, so that very first room that you come in, he made that, he calls it the lounge. He has a bar, and it's
man cave. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's just
So
man cave.
now, and that's honestly, that's where he hangs out. He hangs out even more there than I think he goes to his bedroom just literally when he absolutely has to, you know, once he comes home. So that's the living room. When he was turned to a billiard table, I'm like, and he wants to put a bar here. I'm like, how much drinking you and your friends gonna do?
Well, he can make your drink down there, and then you can go upstairs to the living room.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. So this is really good. So when you start questioning your clients when they contact you, so you get to know, you know, like what their wardrobe is, you get to know what their personality is, and you ask them, okay, what are you going to use the house for, or how much time you're going to spend in each room.
Right.
Then what's your next?
Dogs, you have cats, well, you know, all these things.
Right. Okay. So then what happens at that point? I mean, do you, especially in terms of your role, do you go out and buy furniture, or what do you do?
Not without them seeing it first.
I mean, no, but I mean, no, as the role.
We'll scheme a room. We'll do what we call scheme a room.
Okay.
So we'll say, this is scheme number 1. This is scheme number 2. This is how we see it playing out. And then if they say scrap it all, sometimes I'll say, well, you know, maybe you'd be better working with someone else.
That always works.
You know, don't be afraid to walk away, because there are some people that you just don't click with. You can't crawl inside their head.
Exactly. That's true. But this is really kind of fascinating. I never thought about how it all plays out and gets laid out. So now, and I thought about this. I said, you know what? I'm curious. So let's say, okay, you're in North Carolina. And so let's say I want to say to my son, look, you need to talk to Danny before you start doing all this stuff. He already talked about how he spent like $40 a gallon for paint, and now he's changed his mind about what he wants the room to look like. So suppose you had someone across from that's not there where you are. How would you work with them? Because I had a couple ideas that came to my mind and I wanted to see what you were going to say. So let me ask that question first.
Okay. I've done that before. We did and this is not political at all, but we did do an apartment in Trump Tower.
Oh, okay.
We did it all from here.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
We did a house in Port Royal in Naples, Florida. We did it all from here.
Okay.
I've done beach houses. We do it all from here. I do have to go down and measure and floor plan it and see what's going to fit. But then everything else is done from my design studio.
Awesome. So
I have a client right now in Europe. They're in Spain, and I'm working on the house. I mean, I'm picking out stuff for the house. So what I do is I send them little emails or text photos, and I'll say, do you like this? Do you not like that? And they're very fast. They're very decisive people. And they'll say, I want A, not B. And so that's what we go with.
Okay. I think that's like so super cool. Okay. So of course.
It takes a lot of trust.
Yes. That's right. Yeah. A lot. Especially a lot. Okay. So of course, my next question is going to be, okay, well, wow, this must be like super expensive or super high end. Now, are you one of the ones that say, well, if you got to ask that question, then you probably can't afford me? Or is it like, we can work within certain budgets? How do you do that part?
We always ask first, what is your budget?
Right.
What have you budgeted for this room? And then what do you want in this room? If your budget's unrealistic, then we will go back and say, okay, well, let's work it this way. Let's decide on what's the most important to buy first and to get done first. And then we'll, as you save up your pennies, we'll bring in the next layer and the next layer and the next layer. And that's what we call layering a house.
Layering the house. I just think that is so, I don't know. I think that's so cool because I don't know, the whole idea of literally having, again, it's just like how you started it off. It's like saying I had my suit made or I had my clothes made or designed. You're having your house designed. And especially for homeowners, let's say they just had their house built, because I have a friend of mine who's having a house built. I think she's in she and her husband just moved from Colorado to, I think they're in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. And so they just finished, I think they just moved in about maybe a month or so ago. And so for people who are having their homes built, I mean, it's like if you've gone through all of that, have your outside of your house built, you might as well go ahead and have the inside designed and decorated.
A lot of times when people are in that building stage, they'll hire us and we do what we call a retainer for the building stage.
Okay.
Because a lot of builders and architects do not plan for where's the drapery rod going to go, where are the blinds going to go, how they're going to fit in there.
Right.
I'm not going to arrange furniture in this room. There are too many
Right.
doors in this room. There are too many windows in this room. Why'd you put that window there?
Right.
All these things. So a lot of times we work with clients from the ground up, especially if you're going to build new constructions or
Hmm.
doing a huge remodel.
Right. Right. So now, what about the client that says, I love your style, but I really want to do it myself, but I need your help. Do you do things on a consultative
That's
basis?
that's an hourly fee.
And
I
that's
said,
just
you go shop, bring it back, and or bring a photo or whatever, and or send me a link, and that's what we call billable hours.
okay. Okay. So you cover everybody. You don't let a stone go unturned, so to speak.
I can't afford to, Gail.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Okay. So I'm gonna throw this out at you.
Okay, let's hear it.
What have you ever thought about having a um, a design show?
You know, so many people tell me you need your own TV show,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, nobody's offered me one yet.
Well, see, but
So if you'll
that's the
call Andy over at Bravo or somebody at HGTV, I'm in. I'm all in.
well, see, this is the barring any other unforeseen things, but because of the advent of technology, guess what? You don't need anybody's permission anymore. And so, yeah, you could do it, and because that's what this is, basically.
My little internet show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Be fun.
And I mean, people would
Would
love
you
to
watch,
know.
Gail?
Say it again.
Would you watch?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are
good.
you kidding? Let me tell you something. Because now, let me tell you, I am not a DIYer at all. I'd much rather, it's like, no, you do it, because I just don't. I'm just not. I know what I like if I see something, but I'm not a do-it-yourselfer. But I would love somebody to give me some concepts and ideas. That's number one. Number two, though, my sister and sister-in-law, my son, they watch DIY TV. Was it HGTV?
Mhm.
They watch that stuff all the time, and so they would love to be able to be able to watch a show and say, "Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I didn't know I could do that." And so they yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's almost like this. If it's on regular TV, it can be on internet TV, because most people are getting their information, honestly, from internet anyway. That's why YouTube is so huge. That's what.
I spend so much more time on the internet. I hardly ever watch TV anymore.
I don't. We do not have a TV. I don't have TV. I don't have to have TV.
I do have a TV, but I don't watch commercials.
Yeah.
I only DVR everything, and it's
Yes.
usually the Real Housewives of New York or Beverly Hills or
Yes.
somewhere. I'm hooked. That's my guilty pleasure.
Exactly. And here's the other thing too. Look at that. I'm giving you a consultative right here. So here's the other thing too. Again, and I did do the same thing. When my son ain't never picked up a paintbrush ever. Even when I forced him to, when we were painting our own house, he's just not it. But when he got his own place, he was like, "Oh, I don't know how to paint." Well, what did he do? He went onto YouTube. So if you can imagine, if you are on an internet, if you have an internet show, now it's in the palm of your hands. So when you go into Home Depot or Lowe's and you're looking at all of these things, suppose you have a section that talks about how you determine which, so it's not so much of just this is how you paint, but this is how you determine why there's so many different kind of whites, what kind of things you want to look for. That way you are already getting the right thing ahead of time, as opposed to asking the Home Depot person who is going to tell you, oh no, you need this $40 a gallon, paint, even though you may not, but it's just more money for them. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's all kinds of things like that people love to be able to get. And the more information you're giving to them, then the more they're connected with you. And so when they're decorating, when they need a consultation, all of that, you're the one. You are the man to go to.
I love it. I think I'm going to have to try it now.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to too. So this is great. So what are you working on? What are you working on now? I know you've got the person in Europe. What else are you working on?
We're doing what we call a gentleman's farmhouse.
Okay, now what is a gentleman's farmhouse?
It's a very he's actually my estate planner, and he inherited his grandmother's house and the farm, but he is not a farmer. He's quite a dandy.
Right.
He's like Oliver Wendell Douglas, if you had Green Acres.
Yes.
Years, and everything. So we're in the process of helping him with his house. We're doing 2 very large houses here in Raleigh and area called Country Club Hills. We're getting ready to do a full gut model on a mid-century modern about an hour from here. And then various and sundry other little smaller projects. It just,
right.
It depends on the day that you ask me.
That's great. How do you go about finding your clients?
I don't. They find me.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is exclusivity here, y'all. I'm just letting you know.
I've been very fortunate. I've never have had to go out and pound the pavement to look for a client. And I guess it's because of my, how do I want to say it? Let's say my experience level instead of my age. How about that?
Yeah, I like that. Trust me, I like that.
Yeah.
I find myself using phrases like that more and more.
Right.
So
right. I never thought I'd live to be this age. So anyway.
Well, this is new age, okay? Because what do they say? I mean, I think I've been told, 60 is the new 40 and 40 is the new 20, and I don't know. So
it's just a number.
It is. It is.
Look at it.
Oh,
and
in
as
fact,
long as I can get a little something.
I know, right?
I'm good.
I know. I find myself pushing.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now. I'm looking here, and I'm like, okay, we gotta have that work on.
But
I
was watching, I was on Facebook today, and I was scrolling through, and there was a video of Dick Van Dyke was on the Today Show with Al Roker. And Dick Van Dyke was showing Al Roker like a tap step, right? Dick Van Dyke is 90. And he is like, he still thinks he's a Mary Poppins. Okay.
And I remember going to the movies as a child when Mary Poppins first came out.
Wow.
And my parents said, we're going to take y'all to a movie. And it was like, what's this movie? Well, it's about this woman who flies around with an umbrella. And I'm like, ooh. Okay. So, yeah, remember all that.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, age is absolutely just a number. So because of your experience, they know, and obviously it's like your reputation precedes you, obviously, from the other clients that you've done. So people just find you and say, I want him.
It's really about word of mouth. you have one person that's so happy with what you've done, and then they tell another person, and and then it just is, it multiplies.
It multiplies. That is so, I think that is like so cool. So if people are, especially the people who are going to be watching this, now that you know for sure that you don't have to be in Danny's location, you can be in another state, you can be in another country, especially as long as you have internet in particular, you can reach him. So what are the best methods for people to reach out to you, especially as they start seeing your work after they see how fabulous you are? How do they reach you?
Well, I mean, probably the easiest is to just Google Danny Taylor, Raleigh, North Carolina, and it'll come up with the blog and the Facebook pages and the Pinterest pages and all kinds of stuff. And all of that has a connection to my website and to my email.
And so, and of the social media platforms, where are you the most?
Gail, I'll be honest with you. I get up about 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning, and I maintain 4 pages on Facebook, an Instagram account, a Twitter account, a blog. I think that's about all I can handle. But what I find myself most drawn to is Instagram now, because it's so fast.
Yes,
it's so fast.
Yeah. Instagram, I would think, would be really good, as well as Pinterest.
I have over 2,000 followers on Pinterest, and it's growing every day.
Yeah, because women, it's fascinating to me. Certain platforms will draw certain segments of the demographic, and women are very much a Pinterest. They on Pinterest more than any other platform.
I have people message me through Pinterest and say, I like this headboard, or I like that chair, or I like this light fixture. Pin it to my board, and I keep secret boards for different clients. So when I find things that I like, I'll pin it to their board.
That's a really great idea. I like that. That's a really good idea. So I have to do, because I'm not into Pinterest, just because of what I do. It doesn't lend itself to that. But I know again, like I said, I've got sisters, and like I've got a sister, she loves Pinterest. So, and my son he's Instagram. That's where he finds his stuff, is like, oh, let me go to Instagram and see what I can find. So that's what I'm saying. All with these various platforms, yeah, it would be great if you had a show, and then your people are seeing the different pieces you have and styles of things you have on those social mediums. Man, it's just like, I'm telling you. What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name on TV? The DIY guy. I mean, the HGTV guy. He's real famous. Or the guy who did. Oh, what is it? Nate. Because he was Oprah's interior guy.
Oh, Nate Berkus. Yeah.
Berkus, right. Yeah. See, you could like be him. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, you're a mouth to God's ear.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. All you got to do is speak it into existence.
That's right. Speak it into being. That's what I say.
Exactly. That is
the universe.
That's right. So, I mean, if it happens for others, it can happen for you. It's just no reason why. It's just you just have to want it and believe it, and then just go after it. So. That's right. So yeah, that is good. Well, this has really been eye-opening and fun, because you've kind of helped me look at things differently, and I like the creativity of it. I'm definitely going to send my son to your Instagram and your Pinterest, so he can.
Tell him to go to my Pinterest boards. That's where he'll get a lot of tips.
Okay. Pinterest.
Plus, I have a group on Facebook that I maintain every day, and I have people that they swear to me all up and down the East Coast I'll get stopped. and they'll say, "Oh, you're Danny Taylor. You do the tip of the day."
Yeah, yeah. See,
And I do this thing called the tip of the day,
that,
and
yeah.
and I do it in a closed group, and I also do it on my professional page, which is uh, I think it's just the Danny Taylor or something. I don't know,
Okay.
but
We're gonna find you, and I'm gonna.
you can find it on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
But every day there's a tip of the day, and sometimes it's a DIY tip, sometimes it's a seasonal tip, sometimes it's all kinds of stuff. Sometimes a cooking tip.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
every Friday I do a drink of the week.
Uh-oh. Now, that's where I like to be.
Yeah, I have
Is
to. Oh, there we go. I see it right now. It's Leland just put it up. It's the Danny Taylor on Facebook.
Okay, okay. See, I'm telling you, boy, I got some fabulous friends.
Yeah, you really do. I'm telling you.
I love it. I love my live stream community. It's just fabulous. So, but yeah, the drink of the day. So are we talking cocktails? Are we talking wine?
We're talking cocktails, honey.
I know that's right.
I mean, if it's Friday, it's time for a cocktail.
I love it. Okay, I'm definitely going. My son is gonna love you. I am telling you, because he has this bar downstairs, in the that first level, and every evening he comes in and says, "Okay, what we drinking tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh,
He can, or he can go to my Pinterest,
okay."
and there's a whole board of nothing but bars and cocktails. How to create the perfect bar, how to create the perfect cocktail.
Oh my gosh! Oh, he's gonna love you. Oh my gosh, he's gonna have a blast. He is totally gonna have a blast because he is doing. Well, anyway, so this I have had. This has been good. I feel like I've just been in the realm of, I don't know. It feels fashion for the house. You know what I mean? It's like listening to you.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just fashion for the house, and it's just so it's creative, and it just, I don't know. I have really enjoyed this, because you just really make my creativity kind of start going, and I'm going to check out your Pinterest page, and I definitely want to see that Friday drink. That is cool, and I'm telling you, so it would just be so cool for you to do this on here. Have people watch you mixing the drinks, and you put up the and you're doing your tip of the day, because it don't have to, it doesn't take that long for you to just to
Well, my favorite one is the DT cocktail. I call it the DT cocktail. And every time we give a party here, we always say, everybody says, "Where are the DT cocktails?" And what a DT cocktail is, well, for me, about a good 6-second pour of vodka, a good vodka.
Oh my gosh.
And then I add a little watermelon juice. And then I top it off with some Prosecco. And then just a dollop of Chambord.
See, okay, you okay.
And you stir that up, and you make it by a pitcher full. And
that's it. It is. Look at you. I can tell.
People they've had to Uber home from our party.
You are dangerous, man. You are totally.
I can't hang.
I love it. I love it. This is great. All right. Well, we are about to close this down, but this has been so fabulous. I'm so glad that I had a chance to share Danny with you guys that will be watching this and on the replay. All of his information will be here. Is going to be in here, so you guys look him up. As he said, he's on Facebook, he's on Pinterest, he's on Instagram, and he's on Twitter. But all of that information will be in here, so that you'll have it at your fingertips. And check him out. Look for him in the near future on a web channel near you. We'll have that discussion.
I think I'm gonna have to call you. I'm gonna have to give you a call to get a little more technical info on that.
And that's not a problem. That is not a problem. And as you could tell, you know, you don't even have to, you can just show up and the tech people will be behind the scene work helping you out,
Great.
helping you produce.
I love that part.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I thought you liked that. So anyway, so with that, once again, everybody, this is Gail Turner Brown with Meet the Entrepreneurs, our Meet the Entrepreneur Day. You've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Danny Taylor of DT and Company Interior Designs and Real Estate. Make sure you check him out. And I look forward to seeing you on our next episode of Meet the Entrepreneur. And with that, I will say good night.
Thanks so much for having me, Gail.
Not a problem, Danny. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed it.
All right.